Very good day, friends. We are going to start with redemption of debentures for today's revision. Now, redemption of debentures is a topic which is going to be has been tested at least in 5 or 10 marks, okay, and which is a topic that is capable of being repeatedly tested. Now, before we go into the actual journal entries, etc., let's have a quick recap on what is redemption and how redemption can be done. Redemption is nothing but uh, buying back of the given instruments. So redemption of debentures is buying back of debentures. What are debentures? Debt instruments issued by a company. Right. So after the life or after the given useful life or the issue life of the debentures are to be redeemed by the company. Okay, by payment of the amount to the debenture holders. Now, how you can redeem these debentures? Number one, by lump sum payment or by installments. Right? Number two, when you are not going to pay the debenture holders on in one shot or in specific installments, like in say for example, year one I will pay some people, year two I pay some people, year three I pay some people, which will happen usually by drawing of lots. Okay, which will happen by picking of lots. So if I'm not paying them in one shot or if I'm going to pay them in installments, if I'm not going to pay them in installments, there is another option. What is the option? The company is entitled to make open market purchase. So what do you mean by open market purchase? The company can buy its own debentures from the open market. Now, when the company can buy its own debentures from the open market, it will hold it as investments. It may or may not hold it as investments for a particular period, and then that debentures are being cancelled. Okay, so option number one, by lump sum payment or by drawing of lots and payment in installments. Option number two, the company buys its own debentures, okay, and holds it as and tries to hold it as investments. Okay, sometimes it will hold it as investments and then cancel, or sometimes it can immediately cancel these investments. And third is conversion of debentures to equity instruments or equity shares, right, where the debt instrument is now converted to equity, right. So these are the ways in which debentures can be redeemed. Now, before I go to this concept of redemption, there are 2 points that we need to remember, which has been a statutory amendment, okay, and which is going to be applicable for your examinations. Okay, what is the point that you have to remember? Creation of DRR and investment of DRR, which is, friends, this is not applicable at the time of redemption. Okay, this is applicable at the time of issue of debentures itself, right? So when the debentures are issued, from the time the debentures are issued, DRR, that is debenture redemption reserve, shall be maintained to the extent of minimum 10 percentage, minimum 10 percentage of the outstanding value of debentures, which is non-convertible. If you are going to have convertible debentures, not required. But to the extent of debentures that are not convertible, to the extent of minimum of 10 percentage of the outstanding value. Okay, so I can write it as outstanding face value. To the extent of minimum of 10 percentage of the outstanding face value of debentures has to be maintained as debenture redemption reserve. So the moment you pass the entry for issue of debentures, okay, immediately for that given financial year ending, from that given, I would say from the given financial year ending and going forward, the debenture redemption reserve shall be maintained to the extent of minimum of 10% of the face value of debentures outstanding. Okay, right? So, okay, this is applicable to unlisted companies. Of course, other than banking companies, etc. So, this is predominantly applicable to unlisted companies, which are non-banking, non-financial companies, etc. Right? So, in a question, when they speak about issue of debentures, okay, you have to mandatorily remember that DRR has to be created for minimum of 10%. Friends, earlier, this kind of a restriction was not applicable. This has come from Amendment of Rules of 2019. So, please ensure that you remember this particular point. Okay. So, this is the first point to remember. What will be the journal entry? The journal entry is going to be P&L account debit or general reserve account debit to DRR. Okay, to debenture redemption reserve. Now, friends, always remember that every year this 10% criteria has to be maintained. Every year, the balance in the debenture redemption reserve account shall not fall below 10% of the outstanding value of debentures. So, we will make a note of it also. Every year, the balance in DRR account shall be maintained to the extent of minimum 10% of the face value of redeemable debentures. Okay, so suppose in a question they say that opening balance in DRR was so and so. Debentures redeemable during the period was. So you should check whether the balance in DRR is sufficient to the extent of minimum 10% of the face value of debentures redeemed. Right? So this is first point. The second point is about investment of DRR. Investment of DRR. Okay. When debentures are issued and DRR is created, then the amount of DRR shall be invested in specified securities. Shall be invested in specified securities. So, certain specific bonds, specific investments have to be made. Okay. There is a number limit for this also. Okay. The amount of investment shall not fall below 15% of, okay, listen carefully, 15% of maturity value of debentures. Why do I use the word maturity value? If the debentures are redeemable at a premium, then I should take the value of the premium also while calculating the maturity value of debentures. Okay, so including premium, if any. Okay, so the amount of investment shall not fall below 15% of maturity value of debentures to be redeemed. Okay, to be redeemed. Again, non-convertible portion only. Why? Convertible debentures are anyways going to get converted to equity shares, so we need not worry about it. Okay, so here Remember these two numbers, 10%, 15% criteria. Now, 10% of the outstanding value of debentures minimum has to be maintained as DRR. And for DRR investment, a minimum of 15% of the maturity value of the debentures has to be maintained as DRR investment. Okay. So what is the journal entry here? Investment or DRR investment account debit. It is like any investment entry, right? DRR investment account debit to bank account. Okay. And any income received from DRR investment shall be taken to P&L account. Friends, earlier when we used to do the concept of DRR and DRR investment, it was not a voluntary concept. Sorry, it was not a mandatory concept. So it was a voluntary concept. And there was this idea of taking the DRR investment to investment account, DRR account instead of taking it to income account or the P&L account. But here remember that any income received from DRR shall be taken to P&L account directly. So what will be the journal entry for that? The journal entry will be, okay, bank account debit to income from DRR investment. Bank account debit to income from DRR investment. Okay. And suppose if you are reinvesting this amount into back into the investment again, then the entry will be for reinvestment. The entry is going to be DRR investment account debit to bank account. Okay, but this amount of DRR investment needs to be transferred to P&L account. Okay, so transfer entry, income from DRR investment account debit to P&L account. Okay, so please understand friends, the first entry is for receiving the investment, income from investment. Second entry is if you are going to reinvest that particular amount. What do you mean by reinvestment? Reinvestment is I am putting that amount back again into the DRR itself, putting it again as an investment in the particular bonds or shares or whatever it is, right? Now, this is regarding the utilization of the funds that you received. I received money of the income and that money I have put back again in investments. This is like rotation of the money income that you have received. But where will this income be charged in the books? This income will be taken to P&L account in the books. Right? So these are the mandatory changes that you have to note down for DRR and DRR investment. Okay? Right, friends? So now I am going to one entry, one question which was a part of your November 2019 RTP. Now this question is directly related to DRR and DRR investment, friends. So basically a question based on this amended portion, right? So Omega Limited recently made a public issue in respect of which the following information is available. Number of convertible debentures issued, partly convertible debentures issued 2 lakhs. Face value or issue price is rupees 100. Convertible portion is 60%. So out of the 2 lakh debentures, 60% of the debentures are convertible. And the balance portion of the debentures, which is 40%, is non-convertible. Okay. On the expiry of 6 months from the date of closing the issue. Okay. Date of closure 1/5 of and date of allotment 1/6. The interest rate of interest on debentures is 15% from the date of allotment. Value of equity shares for the purpose of conversion is rupees 60. So that is for conversion. Underwriting commission 2 lakhs. Number of debentures applied for 1,50,000. Interest payable on debentures half yearly is on 30th September and 31st March. Write relevant journal entries for all transactions arising during the above year. Right? So here, if you see, this is a question that is actually only about debentures issue. It is not even about redemption. But what is important here is they are going to test you on whether you are creating DRR and DRR investment correctly. So that will be the crux of the question. Right? So let's go to the journal entries. Now first, how many debentures are being issued? 2 lakh debentures at rupees 100 each are being issued. However, if you see, the number of debentures that are applied is only 1,50,000. But there is this underwriting commission. Now friends, what is this underwriting commission? When debentures or any securities, debentures, shares, etc., are being issued and you are not able to have enough subscriptions, okay, or you are doubtful of the number of subscriptions. So there are people called as underwriters, okay, generally banks or some financial institutions act as underwriters. They say that we will ensure that your minimum subscription or your subscription is achieved. If not, we will subscribe for the remaining amount of shares. So these underwriters are people who guarantee for subscribing for the shortfall in the amount of shares that are issued. So now 2 lakh issued, 1,50,000 only subscribed. So these underwriters will say that we will, if there is a shortfall, we will take up the remaining number of shares. So that balance 50,000 will be taken up by whom? The balance 50,000 shares will be taken up by these underwriters. Okay, so out of this 2 lakhs, 1,50,000 will be given by the public and balance 50,000 will be from the underwriters. Okay, this underwriting might not be a question that is tested now because this has been removed from the syllabus. But if at all asked, let's be prepared to answer it. Right? So let's pass the journal entry first. First, we are going to pass the entry for application received. Okay. So what would be the journal entry for receiving the application? Bank account debit to debentures application. The amount will be 1,50,000 debentures into rupees 100, which is 15 lakhs. 1,50,000 debentures into rupees 15 lakhs. Sorry, into rupees 100, so 15 lakhs. Next. Okay, so this is on which date? Let me also write the date. The application subscription was received on 1/5/2011. So 1/5. Next. On 1/6, when you are going to allot, you are going to say that I have received application to the extent of 1,50,000 debentures. Okay, I think 1,50,000. I think I have made a mistake with the number of zeros. Yes, friends. Sorry, it is one. It's not 15 lakhs. 150 into 100 is 1 crore 50 lakhs. My bad. It's 1 crore 50 lakhs. Okay. Now on 1/6, okay, out of the 2 lakh debentures issued, 1,50,000 debentures have been applied for. So what will happen to the balance? The balance debentures will be taken by the underwriters. So you will write underwriters account debit. Okay. Debenture application account debit. Basically, you are going to pass it to the allotment entry. So you are going to pass it to the debenture account. Okay, or you are going to take it to the liability account. 2% debentures account. So here the rate of interest is 15% to 15% debentures account. 15%, right? Rate of interest is 15%, right? So 15% debentures account. Now, how much are the underwriters going to take? They are going to take 50,000 debentures into rupees 100. So they are going to take 50 lakhs. Whereas the remaining is already been subscribed for, which is 1 crore 50 lakhs. Giving you a total of 2 crores. Okay. So 2 crore debentures, I am just splitting the entry as underwriters 50 lakhs and debenture holders 1 crore 50 lakhs. End of the day, even these underwriters will become debenture holders only. But just for the purpose of initial bifurcation, I am showing this entry. Okay. Now, have we received the amount from these underwriters? No. So we are yet to receive this amount from the underwriters. Before that, let us see what is the amount of commission that is payable to the underwriters. Underwriting commission 2%. Okay, underwriting commission is 2%. Friends, underwriting commission will be paid for the entire amount of debentures. Okay, for the total amount of debentures, including the amount which they have not subscribed for, because they ideally issue the guarantee not for that remainder amount. They issue the guarantee for the entire amount of issue. Okay, now in that whatever is the amount that is not subscribed only they are taking up. So effectively their guarantee is for the entire amount. So I am going to give them commission for the entire amount. So underwriting commission. So we will write the entry as underwriting commission account debit to underwriters payable to them, right? What will be the amount? It is going to be 2 crore. Issue price of the debentures 2 crore into 2%, which is going to give me 4 lakhs. 2 crore into 2%, which is going to give me 4 lakhs. So effectively, friends, what is the amount that is going to be paid by the underwriter? The amount that is going to be paid by the underwriter is he has to pay 50 lakhs and we have to pay him, or the company has to pay him 4 lakhs as commission. So the net amount payable to underwriters is receivable from underwriters is going to be 50 lakhs minus 4 lakhs, which is 46 lakhs. So net amount receivable. So I'm going to write the entry assuming the amount is received. Bank account debit to underwriters account 46 lakhs. Bank account debit to underwriters account 46 lakhs. So if underwriting is asked, this is the format in which we need to pass the entry. else we can directly pass the entry as bank account debit to debenture application, then debenture application to percentage debentures, or bank account debit to percentage debentures. Directly one entry we can pass and close. Just because there is an underwriting here, we are going by the flow of the transactions. Right? Clear, friends? Now comes the most crucial part, which is the moment you issue debentures, you need to ensure that DRR and DRR investment is being made. So what is the entry for DRR, friends? The journal entry for DRR is going to be, okay, on the same date, on 1st June itself. Let's create DRR, P&L account debit to DRR. Now what will be the amount? The amount of DRR to be created is going to be, okay, the amount of face value of non-convertible debentures. Non-convertible debentures. So 2 crore into non-convertible portion. Convertible portion is 60% is convertible. So non-convertible portion is 40% into, what is the percentage of DRR minimum to be maintained? 10% into 10%. Okay. So this is the amended rate. Please remember this amended rate. Okay. So 10% into 40% into 10%, which will give you 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs. Yeah, 8 lakhs. Okay. Next, immediately invest the amount of DRR. So what will be the entry? DRR investment account debit to bank. And what is the amount? It should be the amount of same non-convertible portion, 2 crore into 40% into 15%. Here they have not spoken about redeemable at premium, etc. So I am assuming that it is redeemed at par. So I am taking the amount directly into 15%, which will give you 12 lakhs. Which is 12 lakhs. Right, friends? Okay. So these are the 2 entries that you have to mandatorily disclose. Moving on to the next entries. Interest payable on 30th September and 31st March. So let us pass the entry for interest. Okay. So on 30th September, the journal entry for interest is going to be interest on debentures account debit to bank account. Now, how much is the interest going to be payable? Interest is going to be payable for the entire 2 lakh debentures into 100 face value, which is 2 crores, into, here both for convertible and non-convertible interest is payable at 15%, at 15%, for how many months? From the date of allotment. What is the date of allotment? 1/6. So effectively June, July, August, September. 30th September is the date. So June, July, August, September. So 4 months. So into 4 by 12. Okay, so let's calculate. Which will give you 10 lakhs. From the date of allotment, friends, so please remember it is 10 lakhs. Right? So this is on 30th September. The next interest is on 31st March, so we will come to it later. Okay, 30th September. Next, let's see what other entries are there. Convertible portion of the debentures, 60%, which are convertible from when? On 31st October 2011. So for during the year itself, these debentures can be converted. Okay, so let us write the journal entry for conversion also. Okay, what is the journal entry for conversion of debentures? Debentures are cancelled and getting converted to equity shares. Okay, now 15% debentures account debit. 2. Equity shares capital. Okay, 2. Securities premium. 2. Securities premium. What is the amount? The amount is going to be 2 lakh debentures into 100 into 60%, which are getting converted. So let's write the amount. 2 lakh into 100 into 60%, which is getting converted. Now, so what will be the amount of debentures that are getting converted? The amount will be 12 lakhs. Okay, amount will be 12 lakhs. The value of conversion is going to be the face value, the equity shares value of for the purpose of conversion is rupees 60. Face value rupees 10. So this 12 lakh debentures are going to get converted to equity shares of rupees 60, face value being 10. So 12 lakh divided by 60. 12 lakh or 1 crore 20 lakhs? Once again. Sorry, my bad friends. It is not 12 lakh. It is 1 crore 20 lakhs. Again, I missed out on a zero. Right. So 1 crore 20 lakhs. Okay. So now it will be 1 crore 20 lakhs divided by 60. Okay. So 120 lakhs divided by 60 will give you 2 lakhs. Correct? 1 crore 20 lakhs divided by 60. So the number of equity shares is going to be 1 crore 20 lakhs divided by 60, which is 2 lakhs. So what will be the face value? The face value is going to be 2 lakhs into rupees 10. So which is 20 lakhs. And the premium is going to be the remaining amount of 1 crore. Okay. So remember this. For conversion, we need to take the face value of the shares that are getting converted as the basis. What is the face value? Rupees 10. So 1 crore 20 lakhs is getting converted to the shares of rupees 60 each, of which the face value is rupees 10. So I need to take 1 crore 20 lakhs divided by 260, which is 2 lakh shares. So now 2 lakh shares into rupees 10 face value will give your equity share capital, and the remaining will be taken to securities premium. Right? So this is your entry for conversion. Now coming to the last entry, which is for 31st March, payment of interest again. So again, we are going to pass the entry for payment of interest. This time, we need to again calculate the amount. Now, what will be the amount? The journal entry. The journal entry is interest on debentures account debit to bank account. And what is the amount? Interest is going to be paid from now. September is over, so from October 1st till 31st March. Now, if you see, friends, on 31st October, 31st October or 1st October, let's check. So, conversion happens on 31st October. So, up to 31st October, which is from 1st October to 31st October, we had a total of how many debentures? We had a total of the entire amount of debentures. So, 2 lakh debentures into 100 into 15 percentage into 1 by 12, which is from uh, 1st October till 31st October. Plus, now after 31st October, conversion took place. So, how many debentures went out of the picture? 2 lakh into 100 into 60 percentage went out of the picture. So, we have the convertible debentures have got converted to equity shares, assuming full conversion. So, what is remaining left? Remaining debentures that are left is only 40 percentage. So, I am going to take 2 lakh into 100 into 40 percentage into, now on 31st October this conversion took place. So November, December, Jan, Feb, March, 5 months. So into 5 by 12. Let's calculate the interest. Seven lakh 50,000. So 2 lakh into 100 into 15 percentage into 1 by 12, which is from 1st October to 31st October. Then after conversion for the remaining debentures for 5 months, 2 lakh into 100 into 40 percentage into 15 percentage rate of debentures into 5 by 12. So you will get a total of 7 lakh 50,000. Okay. Now last entry, transfer entry to P&L account for the interest. P&L account debit to interest on debentures. What will be the entry for interest transfer? So on 30th September I had 10 lakh interest, plus on 31st March I have 7 lakh 50,000. So total interest to be transferred is 17 lakh 50,000. So this summarizes your answer. Please ensure narrations are being a part of your answer. Do not skip the narrations. So friends, this question is more about just issue of debentures, okay, and conversion. Of course, we will discuss in length about conversion again, okay. But the most important part that you have to remember here is these two entries, which is creation of DRR and DRR investment. Remember the limits, right? So this was one of the latest questions that was asked in RTP, November 19 RTP. Right, friends? Now, based on the same DRR and DRR investment, okay, you will be asked to prepare a journal and a set of ledger accounts for redemption. So here we saw the entries for issue. Now let's go to the entries for redemption. Okay, which is in your May 2020 RTP. So let's go to that question from May 2020 RTP. The following balances appear in the books of Lakshya Limited. 10% debentures at 37,50,000. Balance of DRR 1,25,000. DRR investment 5,62,500 represented by 5,625 bonds of Government of India at rupees 100 each. Okay, so they have given you the balances, opening balances of DRR and DRR investment. Annual contribution of DRR was to be made at 31st March each year. On 31st March, the bank balance was 37 lakh 50,000 before the receipt of interest. Interest on debentures already been paid, so we are not worried about interest on debentures. Investments were realized at par for redemption of debentures at a premium of rupees 10% on the above date. So the investments were realized, which means the DRR investments were sold, and this investment in realization was used for redemption of debentures. At what amount? Redemption was going to be at 10% premium. Okay, Lakshya is an unlisted company other than banking NBFC. So remember that unlisted company, we are going to create DRR. You are required to prepare DRR account, DRR investment account and bank account. Okay, so before we go into any ledgers, let us first understand the flow of the entries. Okay, so here what we are going to do, let us understand the transaction. First, on opening balance is given. Okay, so first we need to ensure that the DRR amount is sufficient for the given year. Okay, so number one, check if DRR limits are maintained. Number two, DRR investment has already been made. DRR investment has already been made. So now what we are going to do? We are going to receive interest on DRR investment, because the question has clearly mentioned that on 31st March the bank balance was 37,50,000 before receipt of interest, whereas interest on debentures has already been paid. So debenture interest is over, whereas I am yet to receive interest from DRR. So DRR investment interest will be received. Next, they are saying that I am going to sell all the DRR. So sale of DRR investment. And using the sale proceeds, what am I going to do? I am going to redeem the debentures. So redemption of debentures. Okay. So now let us go to the journal entries. Okay. Now this redemption of debentures is a direct simple entry where it is like a lump sum payment or a one-time payment of redemption for the redeemed value of debentures. Okay. So now before I go to the first three entries, okay, let us quickly recap what will be the journal entry for redemption of debentures. Now what is the entry when the debentures are redeemed, friends? Percentage debentures account debit. Premium on redemption account debit. 2. Bank account. So journal entry for redemption is going to be debentures account debit. Premium on redemption account debit. I am using short forms but no short forms in the exam friends, please. To debenture holders to bank account. Let us go by the due entry and payment entry. So, to debenture holders, then debenture holders account debit to bank account. Correct? And the most important point, how will the premium be written off? The premium can be written off either from free reserves or from securities premium. So, free reserves, which is P&L account debit, or securities premium account debit, okay, to premium on redemption. Okay, please remember that the premium can be written off either from securities premium or from any available free reserves. So these are the journal entries that you have to remember for redemption of debentures, which is this part 4. Okay, now let us come to the transactions starting with these DRR limits. So now coming to the solution. Okay, so what is the first part? We need to check whether the DRR limits are maintained. So how do we check if the DRR limits are maintained? Okay, the balance of DRR is 1,25,000. So DRR balance is 1,25,000. What should be the balance of DRR to be maintained? The DRR balance to be maintained is 10% minimum of the debentures to be redeemed. Face value or outstanding value, maturity value. It is the face value. So I'm going to take 37,50,000 into 10%, which will give you 375,000. 3,75,000. So the value of DRR to be maintained is 3,75,000. So what is the value of additional DRR to be created? I need to maintain 3,75,000 friends, of which I am maintaining only 1,25,000 currently. So what is the value that has to be created? The amount to be created as DRR is 3,75,000 minus 1,25,000, which is going to be 2,50,000. Okay, 2,50,000. So please remember that the amount of DRR has to be checked with respect to the limits. Earlier, this type of questioning was not there, but now since the Act has got amended, the rules have got amended, we are going to check for this limit in case of an unlisted company other than banks or financial institutions. Okay, so here the amount of additional DRR to be created is 2,50,000. Is that clear? Okay, so now keeping this as the base, we are going to go ahead to the question. Okay, so journal entries. First, should we create additional DRR? Yes. Okay, if there is excess amount in DRR, no problem. But we have to create additional DRR. So what is the journal entry? P&L account debit to DRR to the extent of 2,50,000. Friends, this journal entry is not mandatory if they are not asking in the exam, but I am giving you the entry so that you understand the flow of the transactions. Okay, this is the first entry. Next, interest to be received from DRR investment. So what is the journal entry for interest on DRR investment? Bank account debit to DRR investment account. So to interest from DRR investment account. Okay. What is the amount of investment? 562,500 is the total value into 10 percentage, which will give you 56,250. 56,250. And friends, please remember the interest has to be transferred to profit and loss account. Remember this change. Interest has to be transferred to profit and loss account. So we are going to write it as interest on DRR investment account debit to profit and loss account, which is 56 to 50. 56 to 50. Right? Okay. So first we have passed the entry for additional DRR. Next we have passed the entry for DRR investment, interest on investment. Now we are not assuming that the investment is invested again. Simple reason, because anyways we are going to sell all the other investments. Now we are going to pass the entry for sale of investment. Now what is the entry for sale of investment? Bank account debit to DRR investment account. The investment were realized at par. So the amount of investment is going to be 5,62,500 at par. So let me write 5,62,500. Okay. Friends, suppose if there is a profit or loss. Okay, I'm writing that a note. If there is a profit or loss on sale of DRR investment, then the same will be transferred to DRR account. Transferred to DRR account. Please remember this. Only interest income will be transferred to P&L. Whereas if there is a profit or loss on sale of DRR investment, then you need to transfer the same to DRR account. Okay, please remember this point. If there is a profit or loss on sale, transfer it to DRR account. Right? Okay. So ensure that this point is kept in mind. So now we have sold the investments. Now what are we left with? We need to redeem the debentures. Pass the journal entry for redemption. The entry is going to be percentage debentures account debit. So 10 percentage debentures account debit. Premium on redemption account debit. 2 debenture holders. What will be the amounts? The amounts will be 10 percentage debentures, 37,50,000. Premium at 10 percentage, 3,75,000. 2 debenture holders, 41,25,000. 41,25,000. Next, payment entry. Debenture holders account debit to bank account 41,25,000. And the last, okay, transfer of this premium to P&L or securities premium. I don't know whether we have P&L securities premium in this question, because question is silent. So I'm going to take it as P&L account. P&L account debit to premium on redemption. 3,75,000. Clear? Now, cannot get over with the transaction. The last and the most important point. After the redemption of debentures is complete, any balance in DRR account shall be transferred to general reserve. You remember this rule? Okay. Always remember this rule, that if you have any balance, that we have to transfer to general reserve after the redemption. Now, what will be the balance in DRR account? Let us check. Now, DRR account opening balance is 1,25,000. I have additionally created a reserve for 2,50,000. So, what will be the DRR balance? 3,75,000 will be the balance in DRR account. So, if you prepare the ledger also, you will get the balance as DRR 3,75,000 balance. So, that has to be transferred to general reserve. What is the entry to transfer? The entry is going to be DRR account debit to general reserve, which is 3,75,000. So friends, remember, first, always check if there is adequate DRR balance. Second, DRR investment. Third, if there is redemption happening, sell the investment as given in the question, and in case of profit or loss on sale of investment, it has to be transferred to DRR account. However, any interest income from DRR investment will be taken to P&L account. And the last part, after redemption is complete, the amount in DRR has to be taken to general reserve. So this is a generic question based on redemption of debentures with DRR. Okay. Now I have given you the journal entries. Okay. Using this, you can prepare the ledger accounts for this question. So in the exam, they need not ask you the journal entries directly. They can ask you to prepare the ledgers alone. So if you are going to prepare the ledger, journal entry is the base. So if you are able to remember the journal entries correctly, then ledger accounts will become easy. So for this question, please try the ledger accounts. You will get the answers along with your notes. You can check the answers from the notes, right? So please ensure that you try the ledger accounts. Right, friends? So this is the first part that can be questioned under debentures, which is based on this amendment relating to DRR and DRR investment. Right? The next area under discussion for debentures redemption is going to be open market purchase. So now, friends, when it comes to open market purchase, what is the aspects that you have to remember? Okay, we need to understand the flow of journal entries, and if you are able to understand that, then things fall into place very easily. Okay, so when debentures are purchased in open market, okay, and immediately cancelled. So purchased on the same day, cancelled immediately. So I am purchasing the debentures as an investment. Okay, so it is like the company investing on its own debentures. So it is like an investment purchase. So own debentures account debit to bank account. Okay, own debentures account debit to bank account. And if there is accrued interest on own debentures, then we need to pass accrued interest or interest on debentures account debit. Let's write it as interest on debentures itself. Interest on debentures account debit. Okay, let's learn the entry fully, but in the exam, Okay, if they say ignore interest on debentures, then you can skip that particular area. Okay, so friends, own debentures account debit, interest on debentures account debit to bank account. Now points to remember in this case. Okay, if the own debentures are purchased X interest, so if purchase is X interest, then bank account will have cost plus interest calculated separately. So the own debentures account will have the X interest amount, interest will be calculated, and bank account will be taken based on the cost plus interest. Whereas if the purchase is come interest, including interest, okay, then bank account will have only purchase value. Interest will be subtracted from the purchase value to find the cost. So if it is come interest, the same concepts that you see in investment account. If it is come interest, then the amount in the bank column will be the total amount. Interest will be computed separately, and bank amount minus interest will give you the cost of debentures. Okay, so if it is X interest, take the amount given purchase value as the cost. Okay, so cost here will be equal to purchase value. Okay, so take the purchase value as the cost. Cost plus interest will come in the bank column. Whereas if it is going to be come interest, then purchase value will be the bank column, interest will be calculated, and purchase value minus interest will be taken as the cost of the debentures. Okay, clear with this rule? Right, friends? Now, how to find out interest? Interest, okay, whether it is some interest or say or X interest, calculation rule is the same. Okay, how to find out interest? Interest is computed from last date of payment of interest till date of purchase. So it is from the last date on which the interest was paid till the date of purchase. Okay, so this is going to be the computation of interest. So if they say that debentures were purchased at rupees 95 X interest, then 95 will be the cost, interest will be computed, bank account will be 95 plus interest amount. Whereas if they say that the debentures are purchased 95 come interest, then the bank amount will be 95. You will have to compute interest, and then 95 minus interest will be the cost. Okay. Most questions, they sometimes nowadays they are not asking you to calculate this X interest come interest, but in case they ask, let us be prepared to write the answer. Okay, so this is the first entry. Now the next entry is for immediate cancellation. So what is the entry for cancellation? Percentage debentures account debit. To own debentures. Percentage debentures account debit to own debentures. Okay. Right. If it is a profit on cancellation, or sorry, if it is a loss on cancellation, then take it to profit and loss account. Okay. And if it is a profit on cancellation, then take it to capital reserve. So if it is a loss on cancellation, profit and loss account, profit on cancellation, capital reserve. Alternatively, you can also use the entries like percentage debentures, loss on cancellation account debit to own debentures. Then you can pass a separate transfer entry. Okay, so we can also write that. So here instead of P&L account, I can write it as loss on cancellation of debentures. Okay. Similarly, here it will be if there is a profit, then you will have profit on cancellation of debentures. Now, if it is a loss on cancellation, what will be the transfer entry? The transfer entry will be P&L account debit to loss on cancellation of debentures. And similarly, if it is a profit on cancellation, the entry is going to be profit on cancellation account debit to capital reserve. To capital reserve. So, cancellation, this is going to be the flow of entries. Clear, friends? Okay. So, alternatively, you can also use instead of P&L account securities premium, but I would always prefer use P&L account if given in the if nothing is mentioned in the question. Okay. So now if you see the entire flow of entries from the beginning, if it is for purchase and immediate cancellation, own debentures to bank, then loss on cancellation percentage debentures loss on cancellation to own debentures. Similarly, to profit on cancellation. Then P&L to loss on cancellation, or if it is profit, profit on cancellation to capital reserve. Now you can also combine these entries and write it as a single entry if it is purchase and immediate cancellation. So combined entry, okay, if it is immediate cancellation. What will be the combined entry for immediate cancellation? You just need to combine all the entries that we saw above. Okay, so you will write percentage debentures account debit. Okay, if there is an interest, then interest on debentures account debit. Okay, to bank account, and the remainder will be taken to profit or loss on cancellation. So again, let me write this as loss on cancellation or redemption, whichever you call it. Else, if it is a profit, then I will write it as to profit on cancellation. Next, these entries will continue. P&L to loss on cancellation and profit or cancellation to capital reserve. These entries will as usual continue. So, friends, if it is a immediate cancellation, then you can use this combined entry. Else, please do not use this combined entry. If it is only immediate cancellation, then use this entry. Else, do not use this entry. Right? Moving on. If it is purchase and cancellation at a later date, then what will happen? Then the entries are going to be passed separately. Same entries. What is the entry for purchase? Own debentures account debit. Interest on own debentures account debit. Interest on debentures account debit to bank account. So let's pass that entry here. This is first entry. Then at the time of cancellation, because cancellation is happening at a separate date, then this entry will be passed separately. You cannot combine. So you will have percentage debentures account debit, loss on cancellation of debentures account debit, okay, to own debentures or to profit on cancellation if there is a profit, and then transfer the profit or loss to the either to P&L account if it is a loss or to capital reserve if it is a profit. So the same entries will follow if it is purchase but cancellation at a later date. Okay, right? Suppose if I am purchasing the own debentures and selling the own debentures. So sale of own debentures. So what do you mean by selling the own debentures? I am not cancelling the liability. I am selling back the debentures in the open market as an investment. It will be treated like a sale of investment. What will be the entry for sale of investment or sale of own debentures here? Okay, very simple, like a sale of investment entry only. Bank account debit to own debentures. Okay, if there is an interest, to interest on debentures, and the profit or loss will be taken to P&L account. P&L account debit for loss on sale, and if it is a profit on sale, it is going to be to P&L account. Okay, the rules of X interest and cum interest will apply as usual. Okay, so how do I remember the rules of X interest and cum interest? Let's have a recap again. Now for own debentures will be at cost. Okay, interest will be from last date of interest payment till date of sale. Okay, and if it is going to be, if the sale proceeds is going to be X interest, then bank account amount will be equal to, okay, bank or the amount received will be equal to sale proceeds, which is the selling price, okay, plus interest. Whereas if it is cum interest, the bank amount will be sale proceeds only, because the sales proceeds will itself include the interest, cum interest, cumulative of interest. So the sales proceeds will itself include the interest. So remember these rules, friends, then calculation of P&L, profit or loss, will become easy. Okay, interest should be from last date of interest payment till the date of sale. If it is X interest, in the bank account column, you have to take sales proceeds plus interest. Whereas if it is cum interest, in the bank account column, you should be taking only the cum interest. And own debentures will be taken at cost always. Own debentures will always be at cost. Okay, like a sale of investment only. The cost will be taken in the asset while selling that particular asset. So that only then you will be able to identify the profit or loss. Right? So we have seen entries for cancellation of debentures, immediate cancellation of debentures by purchase. Second, purchase of debentures, retaining it as investment, and then cancellation, and then sale of debenture. Okay. The point that you have to remember on these cases is interest paid on debentures will be only for net outside debentures. That is, so if in the journal entry they are asking you to calculate interest to be paid on debentures for the year, it will be equal to total debentures minus cancelled debentures. Okay, cancelled debentures minus purchased debentures or own debentures held. Own debentures held. What do you mean by own debentures held? If I have purchased own debentures of 100 own debentures, and if I have sold 50 own debentures, then how much is the own debentures held? Own debentures held is only 50. Okay, I am not saying total own debentures, friends. It is own debentures held. So total debentures minus cancelled debentures minus own debentures held. So what is own debentures held is equal to own debentures purchased minus cancelled if any minus sold. Okay, because cancelled debentures is coming here. Okay, so for example, if the total number of debentures is 1 lakh, okay, of which total debentures is 1 lakh, okay, own debentures purchased is 75,000, cancelled debentures after purchase is 15,000 and own debentures sold is 10,000. Then what will be the number of debentures for interest? So for interest, net outside debentures is equal to okay, total is 1 lakh minus cancelled debentures 15,000 minus own debentures held. Now what is own debentures held? So let me calculate. Own debentures held is equal to I have totally purchased 75,000 debentures, out of which 15,000 got cancelled. So remove that. Minus I have again sold back in the open market 10,000. So remove that also. So what will be the net balance? It will be 75,000 minus 15,000 minus 10,000, which will give you 50,000 own debentures held as on the date. Okay, 50,000 own debentures held as on that date. Okay, so what will be the final answer? The final answer will be 1 lakh minus 15,000 minus 50,000. Okay, which will give you 35,000. So in this case, you will pay net interest on debentures only for the 35,000 debentures as on that date. Okay. Remember, on any date, you should calculate the amount of own debentures held only using this particular logic. Okay. This is just for your understanding if at all they ask you in a journal entry to be passed. Okay. Right, friends? So in case of open market purchase, remember the following entries. First, it should be for purchase and immediate cancellation. Next, purchase cancelled later. Third, sale of debentures. And in case of interest paid, interest will be for net debentures held, net amount of debentures held by the outsiders. Right, friends? So based on this issue of debentures, redemption of debentures from open market purchase, there has been a question in your May 19 RPP. So let us look at the question. On January 1, 2008, Raman Limited allotted 20,000 9% debentures of 100 each at par. Okay. On 1st January 2010, company purchased in open market 2,000 of its debentures and cancelled them immediately. So it is purchase and immediate cancellation. First. Second, on 1st January 2013, company redeemed at par 6 lakh debentures by draw of lot. Hence, redemption by draw of lot means normal redemption. What will be the journal entry? Percentage debentures account debit. If there is a premium, premium, then to bank account, or to debenture holders, then debenture holders account debit to bank account. Usual redemption entry that we saw in the first case, first scenario, which is redemption by lump sum payment or redemption in lots. Right? So I repeat the journal entry. It will be percentage debentures account debit to debenture holders account debit to bank account. That is a very simple entry. Next, on 1st January 2014, the company purchased debentures of face value of 4 lakhs for 3,95,600 in open market and held them for investments as 1 year and then cancelled them. So this is purchase separate, cancellation separate. So you need to pass the entries separately. So in 2014, you need to pass the purchase entry and then you need to pass the cancellation entry separately. Same entries that we just learned, right? Finally, the board of directors, as per the resolution, the remaining debentures were redeemed at a premium of 2%. When securities premium showed a balance of 60,000. Okay. The remaining debentures showed a balance of 2%. Sorry, so we're at a premium of 2%. What will be the entry for redeeming the remaining debentures? Again, normal redemption entry. Percentage debentures account debit. Here there is a premium. Premium on redemption account debit to debenture holders. Then debenture holders to cash or bank. Okay. And remember, the securities premium shall be used for writing of the premium, if any. Okay, so here premium shall be written off. So first set of entries will be open market purchase and immediate cancellation. So you can here write the combined entry. Second, normal redemption entry for 6 lakh debentures, rupees 6 lakh debentures. Okay, rupees 6 lakh is basically 6,000 debentures of rupees 100 each. Okay, remember it is rupees 6 lakh debentures, right? Third, purchase and cancellation later. So purchase entry separate, cancellation separate. And fourth, normal redemption entry but with a premium. So remember, when you have a premium, you need to write off the premium against securities premium or any reserve, general reserve or P&L account. Right? So they've asked you to pass. Pass journal entries, ignore debenture redemption reserve, ignore interest on own debenture. So ignoring all this interest, etc., you can pass the entries without working about any interest. Okay. So direct, simple entries to be passed in this question. Right? I request you to try this question, the solution to which will also be available to you as a part of the notes. All the entries that we have just discussed just now is going to be combined and you are going to pass them as a set of entries for this question, right? So a very simple yet scoring question this is, right? So please ensure that you are attempting this question or trying this question and checking your answer in the notes given, right friends? Now moving on to the last part again, which we have something that we have already discussed, but let's discuss it again. Conversion of debentures. Now, what is meant by conversion of debentures? The value of debentures. Okay. So, face value of debentures plus premium, if any, okay, together will be converted to equity shares at a given value. At a given value. So, how to find out the number of equity shares on conversion? Number of equity shares is equal to, okay, face value of debentures to be converted plus premium on debentures, if any. Okay, premium on redemption of debentures. the whole divided by, okay, the whole divided by value of equity share for conversion. Okay, value of equity share for conversion. So this value of equity share for conversion will include the premium portion on shares also. So how will you write the journal entry? The journal entry is going to be percentage debentures account debit. If there is a premium on conversion, then you can write premium on redemption account debit. 2. Equity share capital. 2. Securities premium. Okay, now equity share capital will be at the face value and securities premium will be value of the share minus this face value. Okay, and immediately also transfer this premium on redemption. So this premium on redemption will be written off against P&L account or available securities premium, whatever is given in the question. If nothing is given, you can take it as P&L account. 2. Premium on redemption. Okay, so this kind of question can also be asked, right? Let's see a question from from November 20 RTP, your latest RTP question. XYZ Limited has issued 12% convertible debentures of rupees 100 each, redeemable after a period of 5 years. According to the terms and conditions of the issue, these debentures were redeemable at a premium of 5%. Debenture holders had also had the option of at the time of redemption to convert 20% of their holdings to equity shares of rupees 10 each at a price of rupees 20 per share. So this price is 20 per share but face value is rupees 10. Debenture holders amounting to 20,000 rupees 20,000 opted to get their debentures converted to equity shares as per the terms of issue. You are required to calculate the number of shares issued and the cash paid for redemption of rupees 20,000 debenture holders. Okay, so here we are going to first calculate the rate of conversion for how many debenture holders? For this rupees 20,000 debenture holders. Okay, so rupees 20,000 debenture holders is basically how many debentures? 200 debentures of rupees 100 each, right? So November 2020 RTP, right? So number of debenture holders or debentures to be converted is equal to 200 debentures of rupees 100 each, correct? So to rupees 20,000 debentures, so 200 debentures of rupees 100 each into what is the percentage of conversion that is eligible? The percentage of conversion that is eligible is 20% of their holdings. Okay, so into 20 percentage. So 200 into 20 percentage will give you 40. 40, right? 40 debentures can be converted. Okay, so number of equity shares to be issued is equal to, let's go by the formula, 40 debentures into face value of each debenture into 100 plus premium on redemption. What is the premium on redemption? They are redeemable at a premium of 5%. So 40 into 100 into 5%. The whole divided by Value of equity shares for conversion. What is the price of conversion? 20 rupees per share for conversion divided by 20. So which will give you 400, sorry, 40 into 100, so which is 4,000 plus 5%. So 4,200 divided by 20, which will give you 210 equity shares. Okay, so 210 equity shares. So what will be the face value? Face value of equity is going to be 210 into 10, which is 2,100 rupees. And securities premium on conversion is going to be 200, the balance 10 rupees. 210 into 20 is the total price. So in which 10 rupees is face value. So the balance 10 rupees becomes securities premium into 2100. Okay. So this is going to be the conversion. Right? Simple. Now comes cash paid to these 200 debenture holders. Now these 200 debenture holders, which is 20,000 debenture holders, rupees 20,000 debenture holders of 100 each, so that is why I am taking it as 200, are converting only 20% of their holdings, which means they are going to receive cash for the balance 80%. So it is going to be how much? 200 into 80% will give you 160 debentures. So now cash paid will be equal to 160 debentures into rupees 100, okay, plus premium of 5%. So 160 into 100 into 5%, which is going to give you total cash payment of 160 into 105, which is 16,800 rupees. So the amount of cash payable to these debenture holders is 16,800 rupees. Simple, very simple calculation for this question. Okay, so this summarizes our question which is on November 2020 RTP. So if you see, the questions that have been are going to be asked, especially after this amendment has taken place, you can majorly be tested on this DRR investment, followed by own debentures, okay, and then conversion of debentures. So if you are able to understand the journal entries for these, then it is going to be very easy. So they can either ask you questions on, okay, so questions can be on journal entries or preparation of ledger accounts. Friends, if you know the journal entry, knowing the journal entry is the basis for ledger account. You learn the journal entry that we have just discussed, go through this journal entry, ledger account is automatically going to fall, right? It is automatically going to come as an answer, right? So if you are able to be clear in the journal entries, then ledger is very easy for us to put. In fact, it is very fast and time saving also. Okay, and they can ask you preparation of balance sheet after redemption. Okay, so when they ask you preparation of balance sheet after redemption, please ensure that you follow the Schedule 3 format. Okay, so like in bonus, redemption of preference shares, they can also ask you preparation of balance sheet in this case, or they can ask you questions combining, okay, redemption of debentures, bonus, preference redemption, etc. So either they can combine either redemption of debentures and preference shares redemption, or redemption of debentures and bonus issue. So like that they can combine and ask a question and ask you to prepare balance sheet after the transactions, or they can ask you to prepare balance sheet only the ledger accounts or journal entries, right? Simple. For everything the basis is the journal entry. If you remember the journal entry, then everything is just preparation. Okay, everything is just basic arithmetic working, right friends? So if you look from the past test, about maximum asked was about 8 marks, but of course up to 10 marks is definitely possible. 5 to 10 marks is possible. So May 18, 5 marks, there has been purchase of own debentures question, journal entries. They were asked to pass journal entries for purchase of own debentures. November 18, there was a question on preparation of DRR and DRR investment, but that type of question is not going to be applicable much now, because the amendment has taken place. So November 18 question is more or less not going to be applicable now, because they have also removed those type of questions from your study material, right? Nevertheless, I will also give you that November 18 question and its answer, so that you can have it as a base for your reference. Now, May 19, there was no question asked, and November 19, it was a small 5-mark question on conversion of debentures, on calculating the number of equity shares on conversion, right? So, with this, we complete our basic revision on redemption of debentures. So, friends, just remember the 3 different patterns that we have learned. Okay, with DRR and DRR investment, then purchase of own debentures and conversion. If you are able to remember these 3 patterns predominantly, then debentures 5 to 10 marks, whichever is asked, is in your pockets. Right? Thank you.